Hello, this is a presentation of our group's findings for the SwineTech Rattle Cup and our recommendations for the product. On farrowing facilities, farmers have to move piglets from one place to another on the farm. The current problem that farmers are facing with this situation is that piglets are getting used to the noise of the current rattle products that farmers are using. This is causing piglets to no longer be frightened and causing them to not move, making it difficult for farmers to move the piglets, as well as causing health issues on the piglets. These health issues include negative stress being put on the farmer and the piglets, a waste of time for farmers by moving each piglet one or two at a time, and most importantly is causing joint damage to piglets from farmers using feet or pushing the piglets. In 2014, 13 million piglets died due to being laid on, costing an estimated $689 million to the pork industry. The business opportunity that's created through this problem is creating an innovative way for farmers to be able to move their piglets so that these issues on the farmers and piglets can be reduced. The solution to this problem is that a handheld device that allows farmers to change the tone of the rattle by the means of a mechanical device within the cup.
In speaking with farmers, they claim that they can already change the pitch or the tone depending on how hard the farmer is shaking the device. If the farmer can already change the pitch of the rattle himself, then there is nothing that the SwineTech rattle can offer farmers that is currently on the market today. The farmers also mentioned that besides being able to change the tone themselves, they never have to because the pigs move whenever the rattle is shaken. The product may not be of as much use to hog farmers as we think. There are very few farmers we spoke with who are actually using purchased rattles. Most farmers purchase the rattles for their length, or if the rattle is handheld, they create their own. Pigs often brace against paddle contact rather than move away. Repeated contact and noise encourages pigs to bunch up or stop movement. Farmers who are using noisemakers to move their piglets, though, use anything from cans with rocks to the keys in their pockets. They said they don't feel it necessary to spend money on a product they have created themselves that is working just fine for them. A lot of farmers are using boards as barricades to move their pigs from one place to the other. I asked if this works for all instances in piglets, and most replied with a yes. One of the farmers stated that when there is a piglet not following the path, he picks the piglet up and puts the piglet where it needs to be. If he is holding a rattle and a board, he wouldn't have a free hand to pick up piglets. He was not interested in the use of this rattle. A few farmers will also use a separating stick or whip to help navigate and poke the pigs to force movement along with the board to help push pigs forward. Again, they don't have a free hand for this rattle.
The products that are currently being sold on the market and are popular among hog farmers are rattle boards, rattle paddles, and a rattle cup sold by Cane. After researching all the products offered, talking with numerous farmers, and finding a study recently conducted at Iowa State University, we found that boards are the most effective and widely used product for moving hogs. Boards are positioned behind a group of pigs in the pen, and it forces the piglets to move to the desired location. Rattle paddles are also extremely popular among hog farmers and other livestock farmers because they have the length that farmers desire to help guide the livestock and also rattle to enhance movement. The product currently on the market that is most similar to SwineTech's proposed design is Cane's Rattle Cup. This cup is a new design from Cane, so no reviews could be found, but the cup doesn't include a mechanical device within the cup to change the tone. That being said, if this product doesn't work for farmers and SwineTech were to produce a similar product, there is a concern that their product may not be successful. This would cause SwineTech to have to educate their customer base on the difference between their product and Cane's. SwineTech's estimated price for their rattle cup is more expensive than Cane's rattle cup, but their pitch-changing feature would be an advantage they would offer. However, that is only an advantage if piglet tone deafness is a prevalent issue in the farming industry. After reading all of the reviews on the products being sold by retailers and speaking with their marketing managers, the consensus is that hog farmers do not have any reported issues with the products they currently use. This is a manufacturing concern because that makes it more difficult for SwineTech to produce a good margin off of their rattle cup.
The table in the slide shows the best case scenario for SwineTech's financial projections with the rattle cup. The table assumes an initial tooling cost of $20,000 for manufacturing. This number has been derived through talking with two separate professional engineers from two separate companies with a lot of experience in injection molds. In each row, we can see the volume, cost per unit to manufacture that corresponding volume, the total cost incurred to produce that volume, the estimated margin, and lastly, the expected profit at that volume. However, it is important to note that this doesn't take into account the costs that would be incurred for shipping and sales force and other factors. We have estimated that at best, SwineTech could reach just over $100,000 in profit. Although from our talks with farmers, this is most likely very doubtful. In our conclusion for the Rattle Cup, we don't think SwineTech should pursue the product. First, it draws away the focus from the core business. Secondly, it is unclear if the product even solves a real problem. As we've mentioned earlier in talking with numerous farmers, they already have products that work and they don't have piglets that die while they're being moved. Lastly, the financial potential is not worth the risk and the market is very limited. Farms are actually decreasing in number, and because there's never new farms being created, there's little demand for this product in the future. It's most likely a one-time buy.
We believe that SwineTech should pursue a secondary product. It should be a rattle board. Boards are more widely used, and there is nothing on the market that involves a rattle or a board. And because boards appeal to our larger customer base and provide a competitive advantage compared to other products on the market, the initial tooling costs would result in a greater return on investment. Our recommended business strategies are simple. If they're going to continue on with the product, they should be able to create prototypes. No matter if SwineTech pursues the handheld rattle that they are currently pursuing, or if they choose to develop the rattle board concept must be proven. Feedback from customers that are actually using the product is what is needed. This allows SwineTech to achieve multiple things: judge the product is worth pursuing, gains feedback, and testimonials to help gain future customers. Another business strategy is trade shows. By doing trade shows, SwineTech will be able to reach a larger customer base in comparison by going door to door. It will also be able to reach distributors and retailers for a larger quantity scale. And finally, it will be able to obtain a licensed intellectual property for rattle boards. So basically, being able to avoid manufacturing costs, creating new venture stream with no overhead, and partner with a larger company in the space to feasibly pull off a licensing deal.
In conclusion, we have concluded that the Rattle Cup is not feasible, and that the SwineTech should avoid a new product line that requires manufacturing. But Rattle Board is a feasible if proof of concept stage is successful because it appeals to more customers. There's a higher cost means potential for profit and the possibility of licensing intellectual property. Licensing or partnering has the most potential because all manufacturing can be costly, time intensive, and it takes away from core business, and the licensing reduces the risk on SwineTech.